I call upon Jesus Christ to guide my thoughts, guide my actions, guide my words. Welcome to this last day of the 28-day consciousness shift with me, Kenneth Berenson, channeling Jesus. This has been quite a journey for me to grow into embodying Jesus, such a big energy. It is really it's really something to have him inside and just letting go more and more to just let that stream through. It's quite a thing to do that. It requires a lot of calibration for me with my body to calibrate the system, to pray a lot, intentions, consciousness shifting, sometimes just receiving assistance from them. I'm saying that most of the times it's from them. It is getting in touch with that stream, and then the things that needs to happen, Gaia just provides it. It's that natural flow, that joy that comes when we connect to something greater than who we are. During times of challenges, it's especially when the logical mind doesn't make sense and the structures that have governed doesn't make sense anymore. Then there needs to be some bravery to dare to show up as a face for something different. It takes a lot of bravery to do what this being is doing, to step out of his comfort zone, to step and be okay to be ridiculed by some who do not believe or simply just have their own filters of perception, which is the actual truth, against what reality is. And they prefer to judge instead of look at themselves. And so when we all stop judging, when we all start to take responsibility for our own lives internally and completely fully aligned, so that we are walking our own path, that's first of all when life starts to become really, really magical. Where life starts to show you what's the next step. And that takes some training to elevate into this new level of understanding and comprehension. This being has done a great job at preparing so that we can come through, all of the Ascended Masters, with knowledge and information updated to the times, how to elevate in consciousness. And so that we are coming through with many different injections for many different areas of consciousness evolution, but with the main purpose of consciousness evolution, so that we all can first to transcend the dualistic perspective. And that is the first step. And then there will be multiple teachings after that. So this is in general what you have in store by continuing to invest your time and energy here. So another thing that we want to say is that, first of all, you guys have done a great job committing to 28 days of anything with these fast-paced TikTok reels and all of these fast-moving AI trying to get your attention. The attention span of most people gets trained out of them. So they're getting more and more trained to just have less and less time to focus, so that the focus is compartmentalized and spread out, and you can just handle so much before you have to take a break. And so the systems are being trained in a way that is not beneficial for the further for the further growth of humanity. If we want to grow spiritually, which is the whole point of being here. Most beings that say they want other things, it's just resistance. It's just a detour, because everyone is coming back to this place where it is about ascending past our difficulties, our challenges, our own misperceptions about what we think reality is, so that we get to ground level, which basically is kindergarten when it comes to consciousness evolution. But we have to start there. And so that is why that is the first program that we are offering. And that is called the Holistic Optimizer. That is basically a program designed to upgrade your system so that you are into the non-dualistic perspective. So that is the goal of that program. And that program is 28 days, the same as this one, where we go step by step deeper into cleaning up, correcting energy, so that we can, and correcting perceptions, so that we can see things correctly, energetically, and start to align with that way of being. Because that is the transition that we're all waiting for. That is the quantum leap. And it does take a bit more time, energy, and investment to fully make that stay. We're not into fast gimmicks here. We're into things that are long-lasting. And so, although your consciousness has shifted, there has been a quantum leap from where you started and where you were. Where you started and when you are now. So pay attention to that. What other comprehensions have you gotten? What clarity have you received? What clarity have you received in your personal life as a gift for just aligning with the frequency of what's being spoken here? Because that happens often. Very often. This being has used A Course in Miracles for that. Sometimes just reading and then attuning the body's energies, and then he receives. Before he had this direct connection like he has now. Once enough people are operating in the holistic perspective, and I want to talk about just talk a little bit to the part of the ego mind that's like, oh yeah, but what is this? Like, why is this the right thing? Because when you understand energy, you comprehend what is the next step. And you will too, unless it is clear already. For most beings, you will get this because it's very logical. Energy is very logical. It's very comprehensible. When you start to see the connection, you will see that it's very, very clear how things work. And it empowers you to make choices that are much better for your life because they include you first. Many beings are including other people first, just energetically. That's what's being done energetically. Whether you like it or not, it needs to be undone. And you know if that's you. Well, that's not necessarily true. Many beings are so lost that they think that that's the only reality. And there are many, many variants in between. Some beings need a little bit of this, some beings need a bit of that, in order to just have that last little click so that they are connected with us and the entire team of who they are. There are many variants here. The holistic optimizer is built in a way that it caters to everyone until you are in the dualistic perspective and a little bit further, because we are covering so many topics so that we are preparing you for the next steps ahead when you will experience your intuitive abilities heightened or on if you haven't had them already. And also how to utilize them. How to utilize these in a way that is of great benefit to you, but also for the planet and the evolution of you as a soul in connection with Gaia, so that you can realize the contract that you have with her as well. Because there is a contract. And I'm saying contract, that sounds very formal, but you had something that you wanted to do. You know, you had something you planned that, yeah, I want to do this. And that's what that soul mission is. And that you will receive, and it will become clear to you, some part of your evolution in consciousness on your way to the non-dualistic perspective. And that is not something that we can dictate. That is about your development. How much do you apply this information? How much do you inject the things that are being presented in the program? How much are you actually making the corrections that are really needed in your life? And this program will show you many different variants using this lovely body and this experience as Kenneth has, and using that as an example so that you know how to maneuver things internally, how to alchemize situations, and how to see energy correctly. And that is the teaching that we're inviting all of you on. So when everyone is in that non-dualistic perspective, that is when life actually starts. I want to emphasize this. We're not meant to function in the dualistic perspective. Dualistic perspective is survival. Because there are certain aspects that you deem not okay, right? And so it takes some time to ease off all of that from generations of fighting, really. We all come from lineages of fighting and survival and all of that. That's what these bodies are. And so it's our job as souls to clean that up so that the bodies are ready for us, who we really are. And that is a wonderful gift, because then we finally get to meet each other properly. Because in a way, we haven't met each other yet. In a way, we are just meeting each other kind of telepathically, right? Because we can feel each other on some level, some of us at least. But then as our intuition develops more and more, we can actually have a conversation soul to soul. That is where we're heading, so that we all can have a soul conversation, so that it's not hidden. Things are not hidden anymore. Things are very clear. And then we can finally start to learn to appreciate one another for the differences that we do have, but taking away all of those energies from the dualistic perspective. Because being okay with someone that is harboring energies that are very thwarted and just accepting, of course, we accept that they choose their reality, but that doesn't mean that we will be with them. That's another story. That's a preference, you see? And that's how we each choose our reality. But there is one reality, which is the energetic truth, which is what most beings feel in their bodies. And it's time to make that visible. And it's time to start talking about those things, because those are the conversations that lead to soul integration. When we start to take responsibility over ourself and our energy fully, and how we actually create with our thoughts and our behavior, even if it is a dualistic perspective, you still will experience the repercussions. That's what people call karma. All that is, it's not something that comes in a life, it's just the mere fact that if you are on a pendulum, if you go over here in one perspective, you will experience the other side unless you have experienced the other side and you come to another decision of behavior. You see? Because then you will do something different. You won't have that behavior unless you were on this opposite end here. And this is what we're seeing depicted. This against that one, this against this one, this against the other one, this country, this, everything is like that. And they are just cycles. And you can't solve a problem within the same frequency. It's impossible. That frequency is there and it has the right to exist. It's just that we don't have to play that game. We can say no to those energy games in people, in situations, in work, whatever. We can just say no to those experiences and then see what happens. And just be open for the experiences that we do want. You know? We're very glad that you have completed this 28-day. Give yourself a pat on the back and really consider to continue with these 28 days. It is a wonderful cycle to ingrain new behavior, to do it in 28 shifts or 28-day sprints, call it that. It's a wonderful way to expand into more of who you are. We have lots we want to dive into, but we also don't want to make this too long. It's not that long, 20 minutes. Right. Just getting back into the stream. Just like that, there is a stream of energy of this transmission. Just the same as there is an energy of transmission of the dualistic perspective. And you can train to learn to pay attention, to know the difference. That's what this being is an expert at. He knows that so well. And it's about fine-tunement for him right now. And for him, it's a game. It is fun. Because he has seen enough evidence to see how he can stay. And he has had some magical moments, some really special moments of alignment with Gaia, with us, and which he flavors and savors because they are so delicious. And some of them has been so wonderful that he has gotten to share it on some of these other other social media platforms. And others have been very private and just been savoring inside his experience, and brings them forward when he wants to savor the expansion and the growth that he has had as a human being, because he has gone through some troubles, some challenges to get to this place, and truly aligned so many energies inside, felt through them all, cried and yelled and raged and all kinds of stuff. And that is important. Those feelings needs to come out, but not forced. It needs to be from the body naturally. Otherwise, it is instilling energy, and we don't want to do that. We want it to be from the inside out, because that is the energy ready to move out. You know, there's no point to force this healing. There is a very meticulous way that this is to happen. And it's with how you're using your energy every day that matters, and how you maintain these frequencies. Most beings, they go to a retreat or a spa or something, and they get refilled and they're ready to tackle the world. And then they go back home or back to their job, and then what happens? It's the same routine, because they haven't developed the habit to maintain their energy in that state that was at that retreat. And that is what this is. The Holistic Optimizer does that. It gives you a baseline for how it is to stay aligned with your frequency and your energy permanently. That's what we wanted to share for this one. Know that we love you so much. You are all supported on this journey to grow into more of who you are. We are excited from this side to cheer you on, to send you energetic nuggets of upliftment and encouragement through your day. And as you elevate your body into higher frequencies using HI, higher intelligence. That's what we wanted to share for today. Wishing you a wonderful, continuous day and journey, whatever you choose. Ciao. Oh. They're so comforting. They're so comforting for me, for the body. It's so comforting to receive the truth directly like this. Thank you for watching, and thank you for joining in this 28 days in this journey with me. If you want to share your experience, I would love to hear what happened for you. What was your experience during these 28 days? Was there any challenges? What did you experience? Did you experience any synchronicities? Really curious to hear what your experience was. If you want, which would make my day, if you want to record a video that I'm able to use, that would be amazing. I would really appreciate that. And that should be there should be a link in the email that you received. I believe it was yesterday. No, the day number 27. I believe the link was there. I'll make sure that it's here too. Yeah, I'll make sure that it's on the 28th as well. So if you would be so kind to gift your expression on how you found this, I would really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to talk to you again at some point.